Welcome to the Storyteller Showcase. I'm the host, Mark Berry, and special treat for you today, we have Ann Rutherford. Ann just got back from telling again at the National Storytelling Festival in Jonesboro, Tennessee, and I am so thrilled that she's here for you and for me. And so, Ann, when did you first get the bug, storytelling?
Get the bug, that's just a good way to put it. Yeah, it's been about 25 years ago. Yeah, I was looking for a career change. I took a couple classes, found storytelling, and kind of experimented a little bit. And then I got an idea for a program I wanted to do for adults. I was living in Portland at the time, and I just rented a little theater, sold tickets, and people actually came. So I had the bug.
Oh, like a one-person show.
One-person show, yeah, different stories, right?
You really started with
I know.
Jump right in.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And what are you doing these days with your storytelling? Yeah,
well, once I figured out that's what I wanted to do for a living, and then I figured out how to get paid for it. Right, that's always the ticket.
Yeah.
Assisted living places, worked as an artist in the schools, and so now I've moved. My husband Norm Brecky, also a storyteller, and I have moved from Portland to Chico, California. We're really happy to be here, and so I'm just really up for getting some in-person stuff started in Chico, swaps. I want to do some performing, want to get back in the schools, and then, continue to go on the festivals as I'm invited. I just love to write and adapt stories, so every chance I get to do that, I'll grab it.
Well, we're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Promoting storytelling and storytellers. I'm so glad you're here. And at the end of the show is going to be credits, going to be my email address there. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, we film in Auburn, California, or if you'd like me to send you the links to others of our programs, just contact me by email at the end. And now, take it away, Ann Rutherford.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Mark. It's just a pleasure to be here. Well, one of the ways that I have evolved as a storyteller is I am 5-time first prize winner of the Folk Life Liars Contest. So, want to share one of those prize-winning lies with you, and like any good lie, it starts with the truth, which is, when I was 7 years old, we were visiting my mom's parents in Denver, Colorado. That's where she grew up. My uncles were going fishing, and I really wanted to go with them, but they would not take me along. "Oh no," my uncle said. "Take a little thing like you up into the Rocky Mountains. You hook one of those Rocky Mountain trout. Those fish are so strong. They would yank you off your feet. You pulled into the water. You'd get carried away on the current. We would never see you again." I was skeptical. This was the same uncle the summer before who had terrified me with tales of the camp robber bird. "Oh, the camp robber bird," my uncle said. "Oh, it swoops down out of the trees. It's big as an eagle, gray as a thundercloud, orange eyes, yellow claws. It swoops down, seizes little children from outside the tent, carries them off, never to be seen again. Beware, the camp robber bird." The next morning, took my mother 20 minutes to convince me to come out from the tent. I was so afraid of the camp robber bird. So I knew my uncle stretched the truth, and I also had a pretty good idea of the real reason they didn't want to take me fishing, and it wasn't because I was so little. It was because I was a girl, and Grandma knew it too. "Huh," she said. "Well, if you fellas won't take her fishing, I'll take her fishing myself." Said my uncle. "What's that mean?" said Grandma. "Never seen you catch a fish. You seen me clean plenty of them. Cleaning isn't catching." Then he saw the look my grandma gave him, and he was smart enough to say no more. "Get me a pole," she said to my uncle. "Annie, get your coat. Meet me by the car. We're going to go up to the mountains. You're going to catch yourself a fish, bring it back home, and your uncle's going to clean it for you." Next thing I knew, I'm sitting beside Grandma on her VW Beetle, and we are speeding up to the Rocky Mountains, and I do mean speeding. My grandma learned to drive when she was 60 years old, and it imprinted on her that the speed is whatever age you are at the time. This story, she's 78. We got to that fishing hole in no time. "Wow, Grandma, okay, should I dig some worms?" No, she said. She unsnapped the black purse that always hung from her elbow, pulled out a little can of Vienna sausages, those cocktail wieners. "We'll use these," Grandma said. "I don't know anything that won't eat one of these." At least once. She popped the top, helped me get the sausage on the hook, my line in the water, and I was fishing. Now Grandma, never one to waste a moment, plopped down on the bank beside me, opened her purse again, pulled out her tatting. She tatted lace out of that lustrous yarn that looks like macrame yarn that's shiny. She used two what looked to me like steel crochet hooks. Grandma tatted as fast as she drove, so you could almost see the doily appear before you as her needles flashed in the air. So there's Grandma, there's me, I am fishing, the sky is a clear Colorado blue, Grandma's speed tatting on the bank beside me. I mean, life is good. And then the hair on the back of my neck started to stand up, like it does when you know you're being watched. Over my shoulder, I could see, just where the trail started to go up the mountain, little mountain goat watching me intently, its ears kind of pricked up around its horns. "Grandma, Grandma, whoa, Grandma, I've got something." "Okay, don't panic," Grandma said. But before she could get to her feet, whatever I had on the end of my hook had yanked me off of mine, and I was flying toward that water. Just as my face was about to hit the current, I felt something grab my ankles. Grandma to the rescue. Now, Grandma had me by the ankles. I wasn't going to let go of my fishing pole, and that fish wanted off that hook. So we had a tug of Ann situation going on. It's why I'm as tall as I am today. I gained a couple inches in that epic struggle, and then finally Grandma gave a huge jerk, and I fell back against her. We both tumbled down onto the bank. The fish hook came free from its mouth, and the fish went up in the air. We watched it, a silvery circle against the blue Colorado sky. It went up over our heads, and then we saw it lodge, tail first, between the horns of the mountain goat. We all had a moment. Me, Grandma, the fish, the goat. Then, "That's our fish," Grandma said. Goat turned around, started up the mountain, and Grandma and I are right behind it. Now you might be thinking, what chance does a 7-year-old girl and a 78-year-old woman have of outrunning a mountain goat? But this was a very special kind of mountain goat. You may have heard of this kind of mountain goat from other storytellers on this broadcast. These goats have been going around and around and around those alpine peaks for so many generations. Their legs have evolved to be shorter on one side than the other, so they can balance on the mountain paths. But when Grandma scared the goat, it got going in the wrong direction. So its long leg was on the inside of the mountain, its short leg was on the outside, plus it had the fish between its horns. So it was kind of hobbling along. We were catching up when the goat stopped short. Grandma and I cannoned into it, and the fish shot out of the goat's horns into the reason the goat had stopped in the first place, which was grizzly bear. Eating berries. Fish slammed into the bear's chest. The bear caught it, thought, "Sushi," and we all had a moment. Me, Grandma, the fish, the bear, the goat. Then, "That's our fish," Grandma said. Goat turned around, took off back down the trail. The bear seized the fish and started running down the other end of the trail, running, and Grandma and I were right behind it, but that bear was making tracks. It had the fish cradled like a football. It was like a linebacker going down the field, pushing the branches out of the way, and I could see we were losing it. The trees were opening up to a clearing. "Grandma, we're gonna lose it," I said. Grandma did not turn a hair. She just took that purse from her elbow, lobbed it at the fleeing Bruin, nailed the bear in the back of the head. The bear sank on the edge of the clearing. The fish flew up from its claws and went up, 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 a silvery circle against the blue Colorado sky. When out of the trees it came, big as an eagle, gray as a thundercloud, orange eyes, yellow claws. "The camp robber bird, Grandma! Well, it was a good thing I wasn't the first thing to set foot in that clearing. The camp robber swooped down, seized the fish, started to fly off with it, but it didn't reckon with my grandma. She stooped down where her purse had spilled open beside the comatose bear, seized her tatting, flung it in the air. It went up like a lace frisbee, steel needles flashing in the sun. The camp robber flew right into that lace like a bird into a net. In its struggle to get free, it dropped the fish. The fish fell down, 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 right into my waiting arms. And thanks to my grandma, that's how I caught my first fish. Thank you. Well, I love telling that kind of story. I love a good whopper. And I also love writing stories that are fictional stories, like in the third person. So I want to share one of those with you. And this is a story I wrote, probably 15 or 18 years ago, and it still is one of my very favorites. So when Mark invited me on here, I thought, oh, this is one I want to share with the folks on this program. It's called The Habit of Joy. When Joy Stevens found herself sobbing in the cereal aisle of the grocery store, she knew something had to change. Oh, they have changed where they put the boxes, or they changed the box. I can't find, where is my cereal? There's only one kind. There are so many choices and there is nothing here that I want. And she burst into tears. I've got to get out of here, she thought. She was heading for the door when she thought, oh, my prescription. Oh, lined up at the pharmacy. She turned her face toward the bulletin board on the wall so people wouldn't see that she'd been crying. The bulletin board was crammed with notices. Dog walkers, guitar lessons, writing groups. And there was a business card right on the edge of the board, and it was kind of falling off, so Joy reached out to straighten it, and it came out off in her hands. Change your habits, change your life. A woman's name, Margaret, a phone number, and 7 to 8 p.m. Change your habits, change. Oh, yes, Stevens? Yeah, that's for me. Thank you. When Joy got home, she was unpacking the prescription, and the business card fell out. It had gotten tangled up with all the packaging. Change your habits, change your life. Margaret, 7 to 8 p.m. It was 7:45. I think I will. Hello? Hi. Hi. Hello. Can I speak to Margaret? Speaking. Hi, Margaret. Hi, my name is Joy Stevens, and I'm calling about the change your habits. Yeah, what do you want to change? Well, really, I really have a very good life. I have a good job, and I have a nice apartment, and yeah, then why are you calling me? Well, Margaret, I'm calling you because my last birthday, I turned the same age my mother was when she died. And I just feel like my life is going on, without me living it. Like I'm watching a movie, but it's not, yeah, all right, I get the picture. Okay, here's how this works. You're going to change 3 things about your life. What 3 things? You change those 3 things, your life changes. You tell me. What's something you've always wanted to do, but never done? Travel, right, don't think, just answer. Dance. Do you know, Margaret, it's true. I have ever since I was a little, yeah, okay. Second question. What's something you don't like about yourself? My weight. Okay. What's something you use every day that you hate? My hair dryer. All right. Pick one of those things. Change it. call me back. Click. What? Hello? Margaret? What? Change what? Shouldn't these people have licenses or something? That night, Joy dreamed she was back in the grocery store, but this time the aisles, the products reached all the way up to the sky. When she tried to pick something off the shelf, the label would blur so she couldn't read it. She woke up with a headache in a bad mood. After her shower, fired up her hairdryer. It was a hand-me-down. It would short out, so you had to jam the cord back in the handle to keep it working. You threw it out in the hall. Yes, I did, Margaret. It shattered in a million pieces. It was amazing. Oh, I got a new one with a diffuser. I think my hair looks really good. And listen. Does my voice sound echoey to you? Echoey? Yeah. I got rid of all my living room furniture. I mean, except one chair. I mean, it was all just junk, it had just accumulated or given to me. I mean, Margaret, I finally feel like I can breathe. Yeah, you're doing good. Okay. Remember that thing you don't like about yourself? Yeah, my weight. Listen, Margaret, that is going to say, yeah, change it. Call me back. Click. What? Margaret is not. Aggravating woman. Joy was still steaming the next day when she walked into work. Change it. Call me back. Just change global warming. Call me back. She walked up to the barista. Change it. Hi. Yeah. Good morning. I'll take a double mocha and the muffin. Change it. Just change it. Do you want change? The barista said. Oh, no. I was just I don't really want change. Listen, stop the drink. Stop the drink. Okay. I mean, I'll pay for it and stuff, but just give me a latte, just like a single latte with, not skim, 2%. Yes, 2%. Thank you. And I'll take that banana. And that's how it started. She decided when she ate, that's all she would do, just eat. She wouldn't scroll her phone. She wouldn't watch TV. It's amazing how long it took you to eat a banana when that's all you're doing. And then she started to just kind of listen to her body a little bit more. I mean, they'd always had a long distance relationship, but now it turned out when she actually tuned in, her body had a lot to say about how it wanted to move and what it wanted to eat and when it wanted to eat it. She started just doing little things like parking at the far end of the lot, walking across the parking lot, or taking the stairs up to accounting. And then she started walking around the block and then around the neighborhood. She even met a couple people. I'm telling you, Margaret, I feel so much stronger, I just feel like, I don't know, like I'm more like myself, and I like the way my clothes feel. Like, yeah, you're doing good. Are you okay? Yeah, I got a cold. All right. Listen, you got that third thing to do, that you've always wanted to do and never, dance. I know, Margaret. Just change it and call you back. Yeah, call me back. Click. I will, Margaret. I'll call you right before I step on stage at the Bolshoi. Well, work was nuts. So it took Joy, the better part of a week before she could finally stop at the little community center in her neighborhood that was on her way home. And she finally went in there and, oh my heavens, I mean, I knew you had dance classes, but good grief, hip-hop, Zumba, line dancing, square belly dancing. I have the basic equipment. Yeah, like there's a class going on right now. Do you want to look in on it? Sure. She looked in the window into the room where the belly dancing class was happening, and it was full of people, all different. sizes, shapes, genders, skin tones, but everyone was beautifully accessorized. And then the teacher hit a button and these drums started, and the teacher put her arms up, did a little shimmy, and everybody put their arms up and shimmied, and it looked so fun. Joy signed up on the spot. Okay, like, it's just started, so like you can come back next week and you'll still be in plenty of time. And like with the registration app, you get the playlist. Like there'll be a link to the playlist so you can like practice at home. Joy got home. Oh, this is amazing! Look at this. It's not even 7:30. I have time to call Margaret. Hello, Margaret Weiss's room. Hello. Can I speak to Margaret? I am so sorry. Margaret has passed on. What? Yes, a Sunday night. Her arthritis had gotten so bad, you know. We couldn't get her out of bed anymore, even using the lift. No, she was ready. I'm sorry, who am I talking? I'm Mariana. I work here on Margaret's floor at the nursing center. We will all miss her. She's been with us for many, many years. Is her family having a service or Margaret never spoke of family, and she didn't want a service. No, my people will remember me. That's what Margaret always said. Each night, I'd help her put on the headset, and she would talk to all of the people who called. Were you one? Yes. It brought her much happiness. Now I must go. Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you, Mariana. And you are? Joy. Yes, the dancer. Click. Thank you. Thank you. I do love that story, and it's a pleasure to be able to share it with you. Well, I have a little time left, so I wanted to also share another kind of story that I tell, which is I like to tell stories from my own personal life. And this is a story, I think I'll tell the one about me, my mom, my dad, and some aunts. So here's how it started. I was about this high, and I was standing with my mom and my dad outside my grandmother's house in Marietta, Pennsylvania, which is the little town I grew up in, which is along the Susquehanna River Valley. We were standing there, we were waiting for my grandmother, but we were watching ants. Not like my aunt who lived in the house, like little ants with antenna. Marietta had no money for any kind of public repairs, so the sidewalk by my grandmother's house was all broken up into chunks, and all these little ants were bubbling out of the chunks as we watched. These were not the big kind of ants. These were little teeny tiny brown ants, but so many of them that they just bubbled out of the sidewalk. It looked like coffee was perking up out of the pot. But that's not what fascinated Mom and Dad and I. What fascinated us was not the main body of ants, but this little party off to the side who had found a big chunk of sandwich. Big, like the corner somebody didn't want. And they were trying to haul all that bread bounty back to the nest. So they had their work cut out for them. These were these tiny little ants, but they were working together like ants do. They had it, some of the ants had it loaded on their backs, and they were moving the sandwich chunk forward with their antenna and their shoulders. If ant have shoulders, that's what they were using. They were moving it forward. And as soon as they got it to a certain place, ants would line up in front of them, they'd offload it onto those ants, and then the ants who had offloaded the breadcrumb would run around, and it was like watching a relay race and a conveyor belt at the same time. You know how fascinating it is to watch somebody else work really hard. So we were standing there, the three of us, just fascinated by these ants, and in 5 minutes of hard ant labor, They had moved the sandwich from here to here. And then my father, who was a very tall man, leaned down, picked up the sandwich chunk, put it back where the ants had started. All the ants went, spotted the sandwich, ran over, started lifting it up and moving it forward again like nothing had happened. Dad and I thought this was hilarious. We started to laugh, we just bent over, we were howling. My mother, not so much. Henry Rutherford, how could you do that to those ants? Henry Rutherford, you picked that sandwich chunk up and you put it back where those ants had taken it. So this is one of those marital battles you don't even try to win. Dad just froze, leaned down, picked up the sandwich chunk, but this time the ants were onto him, so they all hung on. There were these great strings of brown ants that were swaying in the wind, and Dad moved the sandwich and he put it down even farther than the ants had gotten it. He put it down right next to the opening of the ant nest, and within seconds they had that sandwich chunk down, and I hope they were sitting down to a nice bread banquet. So that story has stuck with me for lo these many years, and I finally figured out it's not about the ants. It's about the basic personality difference between my mother and my father. Because my mother was a follow the rules kind of person. If you follow the rules, if you line up, if you cooperate, if you do your part, everything will work out. My father, hey, sometimes they move the breadcrumb. You just gotta hang on. So over the years, growing up, I've experimented like you do. You know, you try to be like one way in the world, another way in the world. And I have finally decided that between trying to be like my mother or more like my father, that the very best way to be is a little bit of both. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be with you.